Tonight, we ask the question, what is money in Islam? Do we have the right to ask that question? What is money in Islam? When we go to the Qur'an, strange things happen. But politicians don't go to the Qur'an, do they? When last did a politician go to the Qur'an? They quicker fly to the IMF than to go to the Qur'an. When we go to the Qur'an, strange things happen. In Surah Ali Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the curious conduct of the Israelite people. وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ and amongst the Ahlul Kitab مَنْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِكِنْتَارٍ يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ. If you were to give him a kintar, 1,200 dinars, you could buy a house in Damansara Heights with that. When you want it back, he'll return it to you. وَمِنْهُمْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِالدِّينَارِ. That was a kintar, a treasure. This is a dinar. What kind of dinar is the Qur'an talking about? Is it a paper dinar? Why are you hiding behind a mango tree now? Mufti? Why is the Mufti hiding behind a mango tree? Is it a paper dinar? Somebody has to speak. The time is late. Somebody has to speak. I am speaking, and inshallah my students will continue to speak after me. Somebody has to speak. What kind of dinar is Allah speaking about? وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِدِينَارٍ لَا يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ إِلَّا مَا دُمْتَ عَلَيْهِ قَائِمًا ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَالُوا لَيْسَ عَلَيْنَا فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ السَّبِيلُ وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. He was speaking about a gold coin. A gold coin. Be honest. Why can't you be honest for once in your life and admit? Allah is speaking about a gold coin. That's money. If you don't know it, Mufti, then you should resign and go and plant cane or plant sugar cane or plant something. That is money in the Qur'an. That is money in the Qur'an, and one day you will stand before Allah to answer for that. That is money in the Qur'an. The dinar made of gold, that is money. That is the money that the prophets used. That is the money that the Aslaf used. That's the money that the Muslims used for 1400 years. Have you no shame? Can't you recognize that is money? And then when we go to Surah to Yusuf, they put him down in the well. And then the travelers came and pulled him out. And they took him to Egypt. وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَ دَرَاهِمَ, plural of dirham. So there's dinar in the Qur'an and there's dirham in the Qur'an, and still you are asking me what is money in Islam? Have you no shame? This is our money. But I have to now, it was not necessary, but I want to go beyond that now. And let us go to the Sunnah, Qur'an and Sunnah. Am I allowed? Is this speaker allowed to go to the Sunnah to determine what is money? So we can recognize what they did when they decolonized. Are you understanding the plan now? He wants to rule the world. So he has to put political institutions in place. And he has to put economic institutions in place. And he has to put monetary institutions in place through which he can trap you, enslave you, and rule over you. The Prophet ﷺ had a companion whose name was Bilal radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, in a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, you'll find it here in this book, The Gold Dinar and Silver Dirham, Islam and the Future of Money. And you'll find it, we have now a Bahasa translation we have Bahasa for this book and we have Bahasa for this book now. This is a Bahasa. Dinar emas dan dirham perak. Islam dan masa depan wang. Excuse my Bahasa. And then we have pentinggian larangan riba dalam Islam. Importance of riba in Islam. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, all of these books are outside. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in a hadith recorded in Sahih Bukhari, he said that Bilal radiyallahu ta'ala anhu came once with some dates, khurma, and offered them to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Now you don't have to put on your thinking caps for this, and this is so simple. If you can't understand this, I suggest you make an appointment with the doctor. Yes, please. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri said that Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu came one day and offered some dates, korma, to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet looked at the dates and he says, Bilal, these are very high quality dates. Where did you get them? Bilal said, O Messenger of Allah, I had, let me use kilograms, can I? I had 2 kilograms of inferior quality dates, and I exchanged them for 1 kilogram of superior quality dates. The inferior quality dates were selling for maybe 10 ringgits a kilo. So 2 kilograms would be worth 20 ringgits. And the superior quality dates were selling for 20 ringgits a kilo. So fair exchange, value the same. You did study arithmetic, didn't you? Mathematics. Good. MashaAllah. I had 2 kilograms of the inferior quality dates and I exchanged them for the 1 kilogram of the superior quality dates. Bilal, said the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, this is the essence of riba. This is the essence of riba. What you should have done was to sell the 2 kilograms and get the 20 ringgits and then use the 20 ringgits to buy the 1 kilogram. But a direct exchange of dates for dates that was unequal, was haram, was riba. There is only one way you can explain that. Stop searching for all kind of devious answers. There is only one answer why this was haram and this was riba. And in answering that question, we get the confirmation of what is in the Qur'an, what is money in Islam. Could someone ask the Muftis to come from behind the mango tree and listen to me? Said the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, and this is in Sahih Muslim. This is in Sahih Muslim. The Prophet said, when an exchange involves gold for gold, or silver for silver, or wheat for wheat, or barley for barley, or dates for dates, as this one, or salt for salt, gold for gold, silver for silver, wheat for wheat, barley for barley, dates for dates, salt for salt. It must be equal for equal. It must be hand to hand, meaning it is prohibited to have a credit transaction. Credit transaction. I don't have to translate credit for you. Credit transaction. Buy now, you pay later or so. It must be a cash transaction, not credit. Hand to hand. If not, it would be riba. You might ask yourself, why is Imran Hosein targeting the Mufti tonight? Why? Answer: the great wars are just a few months away from now. The world is going to change dramatically in just a few months from now. The whole world of money is going to come crashing down in just a few months from now. Don't you think that the Muslim masses should be given guidance? Who is supposed to guide the Muslims at this time? There's never been a time like this in all of human history, never. Money is going to crash. All paper money is going to crash. Who is supposed to be the guide of the Muslims at this time? Is it not the scholars of Islam? So if my language is harsh tonight, it is because this heart is weeping. Because those who know me would know that for 15, 20 years now I've been lecturing on this subject. Omar Vadilio and myself. But who is listening? What must we do to get the scholars of Islam to wake up? What more must we do? Gold, silver, wheat, barley, dates and salt. And the question is, why was it haram to have an unequal exchange of dates? Here it is. Here it is in this hadith of Sahih Muslim. If an exchange is that of dates for dates, it must be equal for equal and hand to hand. Cash transaction, not credit. Otherwise it would be riba. Why? There is something common in all six. Even a schoolboy can answer. What is common to all six? Answer: they were all used as money. That is what is common. Gold was used as money, and silver was used as money. And when there was a shortage of gold and silver in the market in Medina, they would use dates as money. You, of course, may have objections to that with your secularized degree in management and in finance, your MBA in finance. So you take your MBA in finance and go your way. Dates were used as money in Medina when dinar and dirham were in short supply. And because dates were used as money, if we allowed an unequal exchange of dates, it would open the door for the money lender. I am giving you 1 kilogram of dates, and you will return to me 2. That's a loan on interest, 100% interest. That is why this transaction is haram. An exchange of dates for dates which was unequal. But the fellows with their secularized degrees from the university will never understand this. Never, 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 never will understand this. So let's leave them with their misunderstanding. We're not going to bother with them. No, we don't have time for you. And so, we now know what is money in Islam from the Qur'an and from the Sunnah. Money in Islam is dinar and dirham. That is the answer. And dinar and dirham are not paper. They're precious metals. And it is when dinar and dirham are in short supplies that we would turn to commodities of food consumption, which are in the market in abundant supply and which have a shelf life, not like mangoes, not like animals. You can't use mangoes as money. Your money is rotting. You can't use animals as money. Your animal might die. No. So if you are in Indonesia, in Java, and you have a shortage of gold and silver in the market, so what would you use as money? Don't tell me nasi. Nasi is when you cook it. It's rice. You would use rice as money in Indonesia. They're already doing that in Indonesia. And if you're in Cuba, you would use sugar as money. But every time we use money in Islam, the value of the money was always inside the money. Every time we use money in Islam, the value of the money was always inside the money created by Allah. And Dajjal didn't like that. No. In order for Dajjal to rip us off, he took the gold dinar and silver dirham out of the market. And so when Pakistan was born, on the very first day of its birth, because those who brought Pakistan into being did not have the knowledge that they needed. Some of them still don't have it even up to now. It was brought into being with this bogus piece of paper, which is pretending to be money. Paper currency. Paper currency. Now tell me, go and ask your Mufti this question for me. How can I take a piece of paper and get a printing press, a printer? Anybody could buy a printer in the market now. A color printer, they do excellent work. And I print a picture on the piece of paper and put a number on it, and call it money, currency, and give to that piece of paper an entirely fictitious value. What is the value of a piece of paper? The answer is the value of a piece of paper would be another piece of paper. Another piece of paper. This will have the value of this. A piece of paper would have the value of another piece of paper. But no. They tell me that this piece of paper has the value of a tetarik. Yeah, this piece of paper has the value of tetarik. So I am stunned, I am shaken. What kind of logic is that? How could a piece of paper have the value of tetarik? I don't know whether in France or in Germany they'll understand what we're talking about. And then they tell me this other piece of paper has the value of roti canai. Teh tarik, of course, is cup of tea you drink. Roti canai is a breakfast that you have here in Malaysia. And then another piece of paper has the value of a chicken. And then another piece of paper has the value of a donkey. So I said to myself, they think I am a donkey? How could a piece of paper, just by changing the number on the piece of paper, and the value is constantly increasing until they reach a donkey? And that's when I said, stop, I am not a donkey. Those who give the fatwa that this is halal, they know who they are. That's what they are. Who give the fatwa that this is halal. It's not. Only Allah can create wealth out of nothing. Only Allah can create wealth out of nothing. But Dajjal has done it by giving to the piece of paper an entirely fictitious value. He has created wealth out of nothing. I know that I'm shortcutting the subject, and those who want a more serious study of the subject, I would need to take them to the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944 and explain to them what happened in Bretton Woods. And then I'll have to take them to the International Monetary Fund and its Articles of Agreement, which prohibited the use of gold as money, incidentally. So it made haram what Allah made halal. It made haram what Allah made halal, and that is shirk. That is shirk.